Okay. All right, so good afternoon, everybody. I would like to welcome you to our class today. I hope that everything is okay from your side. So this is a support class. Actually, I'm struggling to join and to use my headset here. Just tell me if my voice is clear or not. Can you hear me properly?
Clear, it's clear.
Guys, can you see my screen?
Yes, Mr. Clear.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. We can see it.
Hello? All right, so I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with these problems. The first one actually is asking how many three-digit numbers you can make using the digits 1, 2, and 3, of course, without repetitions here. So when you see the word numbers, this one is about permutation. Okay, so the question is how many three-digit numbers can you make using the digits 1, 2, and 3 without repetitions? So in this particular example, it is very easy to solve this because we have only 3 numbers. Our n is equal to 3. And of course, our r is also equal to 3. Because we are going to use all of these digits given here, 1, 2, and 3. Examples of this are, these are the examples, 213, A312. We're not going to repeat anything because every digit is unique. We have only one digit per number, like 1 is only 1, 2 is only 1, and 3 is only 1. So this is actually permutation without repetition. You know the formula, of course. Why permutation without repetition? Permutation because it talks about numbers. Yeah, numbers are examples of permutations because every time you change the position of a digit, it changes the meaning. For example, 213, then 312, for example, or 321. These are the examples of this. Since we have a manageable number of items or number of digits, we can use this formula immediately. N times n minus 1 times n minus 2, and so on. So this is the shortcut if the number of items is manageable or small, like 3, 4, 5 until 10 actually. If you are not able to use this, I mean, if you forgot this, for example, you can use the formula, of course. Yeah. N factorial over n minus r factorial. So here we have 3 in the beginning times, in the second peak it will become 2, and the last peak it will become 1 because we keep on, subtracting. So 3 times 2 times 1 is equal to 6. There are 6 possibilities where we can rearrange these digits. Okay, 213, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and there are 3 more without repetition, of course, because we have also 1, 2, 3, yeah, and 1, 3, 2 is also there, of course. 2, 1, 3 is there already, and we have 2, 3, 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possibilities. Did you understand this? Is this clear? Guys, do you have any question here?
Mr. Can you repeat, please?
No one is talking. I cannot hear anything. Hello?
Hello, Mister.
Yes, Mr.
Guys, can you hear me
Yes,
before
yes.
I'm going to continue?
ما يسمعنا.
Yes,
I
Mr. We
cannot
can
hear
hear you.
anyone.
We can hear you, Mr.
Mister.
What's happening here?
Oi, Mister.
Can you please send a message if you're able to hear me, because I cannot hear anybody. All right. So I'm going to continue then. Okay, so let me now continue. If there's any problem, please send me a message in the email. So as I said, this is an example of permutation without repetition, because we are rearranging the digits here to form 3-digit numbers. So our n is equal to 3, our r is equal to 3 as well. So the formula actually is n factorial over n minus r factorial. But since we have only 3 digits, we can use this formula, n times the quantity of n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on. Okay, so the answer is 3 times 2 times 1. All right, let me proceed to the second one. The second one, how many different words can you make using the letters A, B, E, and L? Okay, so here, words. So you have actually to understand whether it is permutation or combination. If it is a permutation, you have to see whether it is permutation with repetition or permutation without repetition, right? So first is to identify what kind of groupings we have. Words, numbers, these are of course permutations, because every time we change the position of the elements, it means the other thing, okay? It means different. It gives you a different meaning. So for example, here we have, if you're going to rearrange, it can be Abel, it can be Leba, yeah, it can be Bella, and so on and so forth. Now, when we rearrange the letters, we don't care whether it has a meaning or not, because we are just actually, rearranging these letters, and we are forming different words. Of course, when you rearrange any letters, you can form, different words, and some of these words could have some meanings, and some may not have any meaning. Okay, so this is the same. Our n is equal to 4, and our r is equal to 4, because we are just actually rearranging. So every time we have 4 letters. Abel, we have Leba, Bella, and so on. So the answer is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, or we call this as n factorial actually. Okay. using all and you are just rearranging, that is n factorial. It keeps on decreasing every time because we don't have any repetition, right? This is permutation without repetition because A is unique, B is unique, E and L, we don't have any duplicates there. So the answer actually is 24. I hope that is clear. Just one moment. D, can you change the position of the, I cannot hear them. Change the position of this. This one? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, guys, can you please say something? I want to test. I can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, mister. Yes, mister.
Still, I cannot hear anybody.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Mr. Can you repeat?
All right. So I don't know because I am at home and actually I'm using my PC and the other computing device is my laptop and I just bought this one and it's not working. I have to download the app. All right, so I think this one is clear. Let's go to number 3 now. Number 3, how many two-letter combinations can you make using the letters X, Y, Z, M, and K without repeating the letters? So this is an example of combination without repetition. Okay, of course, you know the formula. Yes, n factorial. The formula is n factorial. And I forgot my drawing pad actually. So I have to write like this. So this is the formula n factorial over r factorial times the quantity of n minus r factorial. This is combination without repetition. So our n, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 factorials over, we have 2 factorial because you have 2-letter combinations. And we have 5 minus 2 factorial. Okay, so it becomes 5 times 4 until 1. Okay, times 2 times 1. Here we have 2 times 1. And here we have 3 times 2 times 1. Because this will become 3 factorial actually. So we're going to cancel this. The remaining is 20 over 2, and that is equal to 10. Okay. All right, so I guess we're able to answer these first 3 questions.
Mister, the right not
Let's
clear.
proceed to number 4. How many 4-digit password we can create out of the following digits, assuming that repetitions are allowed? So we have 10. Our n is equal to 10 from 0 to 9. And our r is 4. Because we have 4-digit password. Password, PIN, okay, your ID number, all of these are permutations without repetitions. The formula is, with repetition, sorry. The formula is n raised to the power of r. This is permutation with repetition. Okay, because you're allowed to repeat, like the password used by NBO, Bank Mascot, your ID number in Majan. These are permutations with repetition. We can repeat. An example of this is 9921. Okay, so the answer is 10 raised to the power of 4. Of course, that is equal to 10,000. Right? So I guess this one is very clear. Let's proceed to the next. Here, in how many different ways can the letters of the word mathematics be arranged using this formula? Okay, first we're going to count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So our n is equal to 11. And we're going to see if you have duplicates. Yes, we have m is equal to 2. And we have a and t is equal to 2. So only these 3 are being duplicated and the rest are all unique. Like h, only 1, e, and so on. So only this, we're going to use this formula. We have the n factorial over n1 factorial, n2 factorial, dot k factorial. Nk is the last element being duplicated. And we're looking at the frequency, more than 1. Okay, so this would be 11 factorial over 2 factorial times 2 factorial times 2 factorial. So in your calculator, please put open and close here. So you're going to press 11 first, factorial, equals, and then divide this quantity. So the answer is 4,989,600. Okay, so that's it. Let me just look at things why I cannot hear you. Here, it's fine.
Yes, yes.
Where is that? Okay.
Mister. Hello.
I think it's fine here.
المستر ما يسمعك، سكر المايك.
Everything is okay, but I don't know.
تريد شيء منه في الشات.
Okay, guys, I will just continue because it's not working here. I cannot hear anybody. Okay, so let's continue. D, can you remove this? Let me see. Can you just remove? Yeah, I think, I don't know.
This one?
Yeah,
See?
just remove. Okay. All right, so I'm going to continue. Can you please confirm if you can hear me? Can you please write something in the chat box? I don't know what's happening. You can hear me, but I cannot hear you. Okay, so let's proceed to the next, because I don't want to waste your time. Okay, so for example, we have this kind of problem. What you're going to do. First, of course, you have to look at the options. We have first, second, and third. And for the probabilities, we have 2, 65%, and we have 35%. So 65% is for growing, and declining is 35%. The total should be always 100%. Yeah. All right. So we have 3 options. That means we're going to create 3 branches after the box or after the square. And you have to be very careful here. If by mistake, for example, you do like this, then you put growing, for example, and then declining by mistake, okay? Then you will not get any marks because you are not following the sequence in the table. Growing and declining, as you can see, these are for the probabilities, okay? So you have to be careful. So we have first, second, and third. And here we have 3 circles. And growing, declining. We have 2 branches because we have 2 probabilities, 65% and 35%. Right? And after this, you have to put the percentages or decimal. 65% is 0.65, and this one is 0.35. Here we have, again, 0.65, 0.35, and so on. It's just a copy and paste, right? So let's now look at our table. For the first, we have growing is 75K. That means 75,000. K means kilo. It means 1,000. Okay, and the next is 23,000. Then you have 80,000 and negative 20,000. Here we have 95,000 and negative 10,000. Right, so we just multiply this and add 0.65 times 75 plus 0.35 times 23 equals 56.8. So you have to put it here. And similarly, you have to do the same thing here. 0.65 times 80. You don't need to put the 80 here. I mean the K. Yeah, 80K, for example, and negative 20K. Just put the numerical coefficient, 80 and negative 20. So remember, plus in the middle. Okay, same here. 0.65 times 95K plus 0.35 times negative 10. Be careful if it is negative. Of course, it will change the answer. So for the second one, it is 45,000. And the last one is 58,25,000. Right, that means 58,250. Okay, so The highest is the third option. You have to decide. You have to write your decision. So we can choose the third option because it has the maximum expected monetary value. So I guess this one is very clear to everyone, right? Okay, so let me proceed now to this particular question. We have A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, and F1 are 6 students. In how many ways can they be seated in a row? So seated in a row is permutation, because we are rearranging people. And we don't have any duplicates because everyone is unique. A1 is different, B1 is different until F1. So if we don't have any restrictions, the meaning of this is that, we don't have a condition, something like this, where A should be sitting beside, B1, for example, A1 and B1, or D1, E1, for example, should sit beside each other. So there is no restriction. So it will just be n factorial. Why n factorial? Actually, because our n and r are equal. Yeah. So if the n and r are equal in permutation without repetition, it becomes n factorial only. Why? Because the formula is n factorial over n minus r factorial. Here we have 6 students and we are just rearranging. So our n is 6, our r is also equal to 6. So if you're going to replace the letters here, it will go back to n factorial, because it will be n factorial over, here we have 6 minus 6 factorial. So that will be 6 factorial over 0 factorial. And 0 factorial is equal to 1. So it will be 6 factorial over 1, which is equal to n factorial. Yes? So the answer is, we have 6 times 5 until we get 1. N factorial. This is if there are no restrictions in the sitting. All right, so n factorial equals 6 factorial, 720. Here we have A1 and B1 should sit beside each other. So now we have a condition or restriction. So the first thing that we're going to do actually is to
Star.
A1 and B1 will become one group. Okay, and next is C1. So this is the second, this is the first group, because they have to sit beside each other. And D1 is the third, E1 is the fourth, F1 is the fifth. Okay, so instead of 6, it will become only 5. So equals 5 factorial times, how many ways can these two sit beside each other? There are 2 ways, because it can be A1, B1, or B1, A1. So that's why we have to multiply again by how many ways these two can be seated. So we have 5 factorials. This is the total groupings times how many ways can these two be sitting beside each other. So we have 2 factorial ways, right? So the answer is 240. Now the opposite is A1 and B1 must not sit beside each other. That's the opposite. So how many ways? Here the keyword is not, is the complement. So complement, we have P not A equals 1 minus P of A. Okay. So the one here is the whole, 100%. This is 100%, 1. So that means this is without restriction, 720. Total number of ways they can be rearranged without any conditions. So that's the one here, the total possibilities. Minus the opposite. So it will be 720 minus, what's the opposite of A1 and B1 must not sit beside each other? The opposite is B. A1 and B1 should sit beside each other. So we have 720 minus 240. So the answer is equal to 480. So it's very simple. You just have to subtract these two to get the opposite. The whole or the total possibilities minus the opposite. Okay, so I guess this one is very clear. The answer here is 480. We just subtract these two. Let's proceed to another example related to this. Now, for example, we have here P, Q, W, R, T, S, M, N. Answer the questions below. There are two questions here. First one is number of ways the items can be rearranged in a row if W, S, and T sit beside each other. Okay, so we have to group again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have W, we have S, and we have T. This will become one group. Okay, because W, S, and T should sit beside each other. Now we have P is the second. This is 1. Q as the third. W we have here already. R is the fourth. TS we have here. And we have M and N. So we have 6. So what are we going to do? We have 6 factorial times 3 factorial. So I hope this is clear to everybody. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It becomes only 6. And how many ways can W, S, and T sit beside each other? 3 factorial, 6 ways. Okay, so of course you know how to solve that. A 6 shift, x raised to the power of -1 times 3, okay, factorial. So 4,320. All right, so I hope this is very clear to everybody. Here we have 3. Here we have only 2. A1 and B1 should sit beside each other. Here we have 3. W, and we have S and T should be sitting beside each other. So here we have 3 factorial because we have W, S, and T. 6 factorial because we now have 6 groups. instead of 8, because W, S, and T become 1. Now for the second question, find the number of combinations with repetition if 4 are chosen. Okay? So what are we going to do? We have to use this formula. Formula will be given R plus N minus 1, the whole quantity factorial, over R factorial times the quantity of N minus 1 factorial. Quantity means one group. When I say quantity, this is one group. Okay, so let's solve. We have our N is 8 and our R is equal to 4. Combinations with repetition, we have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our R is this one, 4 are chosen. An example of that is PQWR. Okay, and we can repeat. We can have PPQW. Or we can have PQWR. These are the examples of this. We are going to choose 4 every time, and we are allowed to repeat, like the coins in your wallet. Okay, so basically we have 4 plus 8 minus 1 factorial over, we have 4 factorial times 8 minus 1 factorial. So the answer is 330. Okay, while practicing and for example, you have your own computing device, you can also use an Excel to find this value. Okay, so in Excel, as I said in the class last time, you can use this formula equals combine A. Okay, we have 8, 4. We have 8 items and we're going to choose 4 every time. See, the answer is 330. So while practicing at home and you have a laptop, for example, or any computing device, open your Excel and try to test, try to check your answers. Okay, so the answer is 330. I hope this is very clear to everyone. Right, so let me continue. Okay, I don't know why this is not moving. Now, how to make and submit the assignment using 6 steps of problem solving. Okay, 6 steps of GPS. That means general problem solving skills. So we have identified the problem, understand the problem, identify alternatives, and here we have to select the best way to solve the problem. And here we have the do stage or the implementation. We have to list the instructions to solve the problem and evaluate the solutions or the solution. Okay, so how to solve this problem? In your test, I might be giving something like time management. Okay, you can practice on this. Time management, for example, or I might be giving something like how to save money. Okay, this can be in mind mapping, or this can be in this type of question, 6 steps of GPS. Okay, so practice on how to save money, for example, or budgeting, and how to manage your time, which is really very important at this point in time. Okay, so practice on this for the 6 steps of problem solving and mind mapping. You can go to the internet and, search for some ideas how to manage your time and how to save your money or how to budget. All right, so of course, the problem is how to make an assignment and your goal. Some students, their goal is just to pass. You can also have that. And how to understand this particular problem. Of course, you have to read the instruction given by the lecturer and clarify doubts with your teacher. And of course, you search for materials, references. That means from where you're going to get it, the ideas, the information. What do you need? What items do you need, for example? Okay? Because sometimes an assignment involves some other requirement, some materials. It could be a type of a project, for example. Okay, so number 3 is alternatives, of course, or options. You have to write some details. You cannot just write the steps, these red ones. You have to explain. So make the assignment during weekends using internet and other sources. Of course, nowadays we cannot go away from internet, and build the task daily, but it's little progress day by day, internet and other sources. Ask someone to prepare it without doing anything is bad idea, and copy paste from the internet, this is also a bad idea. Okay, so these are just possible options. And this happens in reality, actually, So you have to avoid the last 2. These are bad ideas. And you have to write your criteria now and mention your solution. So you want to do it alone, and you want to do it every day whenever you have free time, and finish 2 days before the deadline. So you're going to say B. Okay. So as a student, my assignments actually, I solve the problem by trying to do it every day during my free time. Sometimes also I try to skip, I try to not do anything during a particular day because I might go somewhere, I might be so busy, but I try to see to it that there is little progress every day. It could be 1 paragraph only every day, or even 1 line, or maybe just editing in a particular day, changing the words, paraphrasing, just trying to ensure that something is happening every day. And you have to mention then your solution. And here, the step by step, how you're going to do it. So if you're going to choose this, so you have to update the file or edit the file daily. And please, okay, save the file in many locations, not only in one location, because there might be a problem. USB, for example, it might become wet or it might be lost and you cannot retrieve the file. So when I was studying, usually I save my assignments in my email so I can easily access the assignment wherever I am. So finalize your assignment. Indexing means numbering. For example, 1, introduction, number 2, okay, to make it more organized. Table of contents, references, you know this, figures, your charts, your graph, summary and conclusion. Proofreading, that means you are checking the mistakes, some errors, spelling mistakes, grammar, review your paraphrasing. This is the link, the coherence. Okay, every paragraph should be linked to other or the next paragraph. For example, you have a paragraph here. Before you proceed to the next paragraph, try to link the last sentence to the next paragraph. That's the meaning of coherence. Okay, or one page, when you go to the next page, try to connect, the statements. That's the meaning of coherence here. And prepare the final version, submit the assignment. Okay, so if you're going to follow this, actually, you're going to get excellent marks. Now, after getting the result, this is the time you're going to reflect. You have to evaluate. Are you happy? Okay, read the feedback from your teacher and note the weaknesses and strengths. How can you improve next time if you are not happy with the result right now? Did you achieve your goal, your target? Okay, as I said, this is just an example. I want you to practice on time management and in terms of saving or budgeting. Okay, this is an example of a creative mind mapping talking about health, how to maintain a good health, for example. So we have stress as one of the factors that affects our health, sleep, diet, health, exercise. So in your test, try to be clever, try to use your time, okay, try to expand using sub-branches. These are the sub-branches. And as I mentioned, I need at least 4 main branches. Okay, the main. Here, for example, we have sleep, stress, exercise, health, and diet as the main branches. The sub-branches, we have many. For example, here in stress, we talk about causes, effects, and solutions. Exercise, we have many: biking, warming up, treadmill, weightlifting, toning strength, okay, stretching, for example. So these are sub-branches. Diet, you can talk about variety of fruits, veggies, and some other things. Here, this is about sleeping. So it's up to you how you're going to be creative during the test. The more creative you are, the more marks you're going to obtain. Okay? And for example, if there is or in the exam, you have to choose only one. Okay, please be careful. For example, use a mind map to illustrate this idea. How to gain confidence while speaking, how to maintain good health. I'm sorry guys, actually today I'm not feeling well that much. I have a throat pain, but that's why I came home and conduct a class here. And I'm having trouble with the sound here, the mic. And I forgot my drawing pad also. It is in the college. Okay, so we will not be taking longer because actually I'm having a throat pain today. Now, as mentioned, you can focus on this, for example, or the second one. Don't answer both in the examination. You might take this, for example, how to gain confidence while speaking. So you can talk about self-practice, self-study, speaking loudly when you're alone, recording videos of yourself and critique them. Okay, this is very effective. Memorizing at least 3 words every day. That means 3 or more. And you can also, develop this reading habit. Taking some notes from your readings, reading newspapers, books, magazines, internet, novels, and maybe you can have speaking courses Okay, grammar course, 3 month short courses, and maybe you can get advice from others, especially those who are experienced already, public speaking people, language teachers or lecturers, friends and family members. So this is just an example of a creative mind mapping where we are talking about gaining confidence while speaking. So the main branches here are self-practice, about reading, getting advice, and speaking courses. And there are many more, of course, trying to gain confidence while speaking. One of the ways, of course, is to master your subject. You have to be ready before coming to the presentation hall, for example. You have to be ready of your topic. You have to read about it. You have to memorize some phrases, for example. You have to know every bit of your topic, of your subject. Only then you'll become confident while speaking. Okay, so as I said, please try to search about how to manage your time and how to budget or how to save money. This might be given also in your test. I have talked about this in the class. As I said, if there is or, please try to pick only one. I might say A or B or C. You have to pick only one. Okay, it might be about this. 3 decision traps, stimulus overflow, you have to explain, and the solution. Permanent stress, what is it? And the solution. Perfectionism, talk about it and the solution. Okay, so of course, if you have 80% of the information you need, just go for it. Implement your decisions and fix the errors along the way. Okay, so you have to discuss about it and give the solution if you want to pick this particular question, for example. You might be focusing on the methods of problem solving, so you have to discuss and give examples. What is trial and error method? What is algorithm method and heuristics method? We discussed this in the class. I don't need to talk about this again. Yeah, the answers are here. You can use your own words, right? Or you might be talking about the monkey mind, gator mind, and the elephant's tether. These are the 3 barriers to creative thinking. So monkey mind is all about distraction, and gator mind is reaction. Elephant's tether is about patterning. Okay, so patterning here, that means you are focusing on traditional methods, always considering the past, clinging to the past to solve problems. So you are ignoring new ideas. Here you are reacting immediately without thinking. So it blocks creative or new ideas. Here you are being disturbed, distracted because of the mind's ability to control human being, taking you somewhere, okay? Taking you to some places. For example, you are trying to focus on a project and you cannot concentrate because you are thinking about something else. That is your monkey mind trying to disturb you. So, of course, we have also linear programming. We will be giving you this system. This is the system. And of course, the objective function will be given. This one is by default that our x and y should be 0 and above because we don't have any negative values here. Only from here to the right, okay? So the points are given also. For the first equation or inequality, we have 0, 20, and 30, 0. We discussed this in the class how to solve it. So it will be given. There are 4 points. So the first inequality, we have 2 points. And the second, we have also 2 points for 10x plus 40y less than or equal to 400. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20. So 0, 20 is here, and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this is 30, 0. Connect the points. And then we have to plot the other 2 points, 0, 10, and 40, 0 here. And connect the points. These are the lines. Okay, so now you have to test. Okay, so you can use 0, 0, for example, the best test point, 0, 0. So 0, 0, as you can see, is below the lines, below the purple line and below the blue line. So let's test if you're going to put 0 there. Okay. Yes, if you're going to put 0, put 0 here and here, it will be 0 less than or equal to 600, which is true. And for the second one, if you're going to test again 0, 0, put 0 here and 40 times 0, that is 0 less than or equal to 400. Again, it is true. So what's the meaning of this? That means we're going to delete the ones above, because 0, 0 is true. 0, 0 is here below. So this one is deleted. And for the purple one, also above will be deleted, because 0, 0 is true also. So where is the remaining? The remaining is this part here. We have 4 points there. This point, this, 0, 0, and this point. Okay? So the remaining, as you can see here, is this portion. We call this as the feasible region or the solution set. Or we call that as the feasible region. Okay? So next is to solve for the intersection. We have to multiply the second one by 2 or -2 to make it, similar, because we have 20x and 30y. If you're going to multiply this by 2, it will become 20. So we can easily eliminate. Right? So this will become 20x plus 30y equals 600. This is our new system. The second one will become negative 20x minus 80y equals negative 800. We multiply both sides by -2. So now we can add, because we have 20 and -20. If the signs are different, like this, add. If it's the same, plus plus or minus minus, you have to subtract, okay? So we are going to add. This will become 0. So this is negative 50y equals negative 200. So we divide both sides by negative 50, y is equal to 4. Okay, so we can now find x. So we're talking about this. Our y here is equal to 4. And our x we have to find using any of the equations. You can use the first or the second. So we have 20x plus 30 times 4 using equation 1, because our y is equal to 4, equals 600. So 20x equals 600 minus 120. We transpose this to the other side. So equals 480 by 20 equals 24. So that means this particular point is 24, comma 4. So now the points are complete. We have 4 points. Let's test using our objective function. Okay, so this is given. We have to change our x and y and see which one is the highest. So using 0, 10, this point, we're going to change our x to 0, y to 10. It becomes 10,000. Of course, for 0, 0, it is 0. For 30, 0, change x to 30 and y to 0. Answer is 15,000. And here we're going to change our x and y to 24 and 4 respectively. The answer is 16,000. So our decision is we have to have x equals 24 and y equals 4 for us to have the maximum profit. Okay? So I guess this one is very clear. Okay, this one is about the 3 things that top decision makers do differently. It might be given also. Please try to, look at the meaning of every unique quality that the decision maker should possess, setting their own standards, self-management, and of course, implementation. Okay, this is about creativity and innovation. Talk about creativity, talk about innovation, and this is the diagram showing the link between creativity and innovation. We talk about this in the class. What is creativity? It's all about generating new and useful ideas, and it is the input, the ideas generated, while innovation is the output. So innovation, the keyword is implementation. And we create new ideas, we create new products, new services, and new organizations. Usually PSO. Yeah. So we have products, processes, services, and organizations. When we talk about innovation, we create new products, new processes, new services, new organizations, new businesses, or new companies. PPSO. Okay, so these are the homework. You can look at this. And CPS, for example, stages of CPS, what is brainstorming, and all of this. So go back to our slides, of course. Everything is there. This is about convergent thinking and divergent thinking. So divergent, focusing on many solutions, and convergent, focusing on specific or one solution. What is thinking outside the box? What is a problem? And what is problem solving? These are just additional, okay? Right, so anyway, this is in the move page, all of these answers. So I want you to look at this again. Right, so do you have any question before I'm going to leave you? Can you please write something? Say if you're happy. All right, thank you. Yusuf, why you are not happy? The sample is on the move page, Il Sadiq, the revision file. After exam, I'll be happy. Okay, thank you. I'm not feeling well today, actually. I have to leave you now. Anyway, I have covered most of the things. Hadil is asking about something. This is a very old question, Hadil. Okay. Let me just open with. You send this file in your email. Now I cannot. Okay. All right. So this question, for example, this is a very old question, actually. This is not part anymore of our topic, but anyway. So here we have 15 questions with 5 possible answers each. Compute the probability of randomly guessing the answers and getting exactly 14 questions correctly. So actually here you're going to use this formula n, choose x, p raised to the power of x. And here we have q raised to the power of n minus x. This is not part anymore of our topic, but since you asked this question, we try to answer this. So here we have a combination, 15 questions. Okay, and we're going to choose exactly 14 questions correct. So we have 15. Our R is X. Okay. Our N is equal to 15. Now here, this is about getting exactly 14 questions correct. So there are 5 possible answers. Of course, for example, 5 options A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, only one is correct, right? So our P is 1/5. Because in every question, the possibility of getting a correct option is only 1 out of 5. There are 5 possible answers each question, like A, B, C, D, E. So that means our Q, the opposite is 4/5. Yeah, Q is the opposite of P. So 1 minus 1/5 is 4/5. So you just have to multiply this. So 1/5 raised to the power of our x. Our x is 14. And q is 4/5. And we have 15 minus 1. 14 equals 1. Okay? So, keeps on writing here. All right, so 1/5, because in every question there is only one correct option, 4 are wrong. So we have 4/5. It's the opposite. Now 14 here, that is 14 questions correct. N is 15, we have 15 questions. So 15 minus 14, n minus x. And this is combination without repetition. So in your calculator, you can type 15, shift NCR, okay, or 15 NCR, and then 14 times, so you type like this, 15 NCR 14 times 1/5 raised to the power of 14 times 4/5 raised to the power of 1, because you have 15 minus 14. So the first one is raised to the power of 14 times 4/5. So the answer is 1 point something. 1.966, okay, 08 times 10 raised to the power of -9. So the answer here is none of the above. 1.96608 times 10 raised to the power of -9. Okay, Hadil, did I answer your question? But this is not anymore included. This was a very old topic which we have removed. Okay, so I think we are done here. For your other question, Hadil, I will send you an email. That is not part of the test. I think you have, gone extra mile, Hadil. Thank you so much. But anyway, this is a very good information for you guys. Yes, some rules are in the exam, some rules are not in the exam. So look at the practice slides. Okay. All right, so don't worry too much. Good luck to your examination. I have to leave you now. Yes, Anas, this one is recorded. Thank you. Okay, guys, good luck to your exam and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
خلصنا ولا بعدنا ولا وش؟ يلا يلا باي.
Qasim and Johaina Muhammad, can you please log out so we can see the recording?
Mr. Albert.
Johaina, can you, and Maria, can you please close this meeting? Johaina, close the meeting so we can see the recording.